this video, we will make a 3D game in pure JavaScript. We'll be using some big bad math and explore the matrix. We'll be using Blender for modeling this awesome island and this samurai. We'll use WebGL 2 for rendering 3D models and build our own game engine. We'll submit the game to the JS13K Game Jam. The best JavaScript game developers from all around the world will compete in this hardcore challenge. We have 1 month to make this game. Oh, and I forgot to mention, all our game must fit in 13K. But hey, my selfie image is a couple of megabytes. That's 500 times bigger than our game. That should contain all the images, sounds, music, font and code. Even with these hardcore restrictions, people managed to make amazing games. In 2021, Follows Loud remade Quake in 13 kilobytes, which is super hard to do. But we can do better! Now, if we want to make a 3D game, we need a 3D renderer.
You sure about that?
But let me tell you a secret. 3D is fake. You just can't see 3D on a flat screen. Let me tell you how it's faked. All objects in the 3D world are called meshes. Let's look at this mesh. It represents the tower from our game. Every mesh is made out of vertices, indices and colors. The vertices define the mesh shape and they are represented with X, Y and Z values. These values tell us where the vertex is in comparison to the mesh center. What? You don't get it? Just join the dots. The indices tell us how they are joined. Together, they can make faces, which have colors. And in case you didn't notice, colors are very colorful. Now, if we want to move the player, we need a camera.
Yes, sir.
The camera has a position in the 3D world. It can also rotate. We see the world through the camera's eyes. That means we have to shift everything accordingly. Simple. Even a 3-year-old can understand it. But do you notice anything sus? We don't have perspective. Perspective is the thing that makes things closer bigger and the things further away smaller. But we have a problem. Maybe we want to put the meshes somewhere in the world. So we need a position, a rotation, and a scale for a mesh. The position is a X, Y, and Z value, which tells us where in the world it is. And it can also have a rotation relative to the mesh center. We can also apply a scale, which can make it bigger or smaller, or even thick. And that, my friends, is how it's faked. Now, the player wants to interact with their amazing game character. This is where keyboard input comes in. Now, when you smash a key, you trigger an event. It tells the code what key you are pressing. But input is useless without output. For this we need UI. UI can be the health bar, the inventory, basically anything the player can interact with. A game has multiple scenes. A loading scene, a title scene, a play scene, a death scene, and a win scene. They are all under the scene manager. The game also has a renderer. It can be 2D like my brain or 3D like real life. Does that mean we live in the Matrix? It just displays stuff on the screen, but nothing else. Audio render. It generates sounds like this. It uses a synthesizer with a series of notes. Now we can fine-tune sounds with a few parameters, like frequency, that tells us how high or low the sound is, like volume, it tells us how loud the sound is. So this is how sound is made, but we have a problem. The player can just no-clip in the walls and go through them. We don't want that, because they might end up in back rooms. For this, we need collision. It makes sure that things don't go through walls and can tell us when two objects are colliding. But the player is very lonely, so let's give him some friends. Or what we call NPCs, non-playable character. They can have states, walking, attacking, chilling out. But if we want sounds, models and images for the player, we need to load them. through the asset manager. So when all assets are loaded, we can begin the game. Our game also needs some nice juicy animations to make it come to life. It must be on time with other animations so it doesn't look like Roblox Resurrected. The animations, the rendering and the input are all done in the game loop, basically where everything is put together. So that's the theory of our game. But what about code? Well, if I get one more subscriber, I will make the video about all of the nice maths and details.
To be continued.
See you in the next episode!